Yes, I do. To myself, as far as I know. In other words, absentee, spoiled ballots and precincts come to me, look at them, they're spoiled. That's it. They don't go any further. So if I'm actually a witness to it, then as far as I'm concerned, that's, that transpired, and that's the end of it.
You don't have any obligation to retain spoiled ballots and account for them by number.
You can't account for a ballot by number. They're not numbered. Sir.
Don't you have, in the pack of material over there, don't you have spoiled ballots that have been retained from the workers at the precincts?
Correct. And not numbered.
Each ballot is not numbered. Is there not a number on the packet of the ballots when you receive them?
Yes, there is.
Now, this episode you've just testified about was not reported to the canvassing board in the meeting of April 11, 2006, was it? Are you aware that Mr. Watson sent a memorandum to the commission claiming that the voters had approached him about being intimidated by Charlie Grabsky and those ALA people? Let me show you plaintiff's exhibit number 1. Have you seen that before?
I may have. I can't recall.
Did Mr. Watson discuss with you preparing that memorandum?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you have any citizens approach you with complaints such as one Mr. Watson refers to in this memorandum?
No, I did not.
Are you aware of any investigation that was conducted by Mr. Watson or anyone else in the city pertaining to who it was, other than the people that were named here, that may have been attempting to intimidate voters?
I'm not aware of any investigations at all.
Are you the person who is responsible for applying to requests to inspect public records in the city of Alachua?
Restate, please.
You are a person in the city of Alachua who receives requests to inspect public records.
I do.
After the election, Mr. Grabsky and Eileen McCoy made several requests to inspect records pertaining to the election, didn't they?
They made, I sent an email, and then they appeared in person.
And Mr. Candy as well?
I don't think he was with them.
Did he ever make separate from them?
Yes, he did.
Okay. You told them that you were uncomfortable to give them records because of the filing of this lawsuit. Words to that effect.
At the time, when they approached me initially, I believe there was no lawsuit in evidence. In other words, I was not aware of any lawsuit.
And did you make the records available to them readily?
Tried. At that point in time, I was not given time I requested of them to go through and make certain that they were all there, that they were all collated, that they were all on the right stack, etc. This was not very long after the election.
So the answer is you did not supply the records immediately.
Not immediately, no, sir.
Have you ever supplied all of the records that were requested?
On more than one occasion, I believe. Different people.
Now, have you ever had any business with or discussion with Mr. Grafsky about purely private matters that don't involve the city of Alachua?
That's just obscure enough for me to ask you to elucidate it.
Okay. Have you had any conversation or contact with Mr. Grafsky about anything other than matters pertaining to the city of Alachua?
I can't recall anything that didn't have to do with city business.
Okay. Do you recall ever having met with him and casually or otherwise outside of these premises?
Not voluntarily, sir, no.
Okay. But involuntarily?
He approached me in the parking lot one time,
Okay.
trying to record me.
Okay. And that was about city business or about?
I had no idea. I ignored him because I don't like to be assaulted in public.
So you just, okay. Didn't have any conversation with him? You are aware that Mr. Watson filed criminal charges against Mr. Grafsky while he was attempting to review public records here in City Hall.
I know that he was arrested while reviewing records in City Hall.
Were you present?
I believe I was present.
Do you recall that Grafsky was arrested on a Monday for something that supposedly occurred on the Friday before?
I believe, I know that he was there on the Monday following his initial visit. And to the best of my knowledge, that may have been the time when he was arrested.
Now, did you have any conversations about the matter with Mr. Watson between the Friday and when Mr. Grafsky was here looking at records and Monday when he was arrested in the City Hall?
We did discuss my initial dealings with him and what transpired there.
Tell us what your subject of your discussion was with Mr. Watson.
Oh, just the circumstances surrounding it and why, what he had asked for, what I had told him, how he had reacted, and because subsequently he went from my office to Mr. Watson's office. So just here's what happened before he came to see you type conversation.
That was on the first day.
That was the first day.
Did you discuss whether Mr. Grafsky should be arrested?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did Mr. Watson tell you he was going to have Mr. Grafsky arrested?
No, sir.
Now, on the Friday, if it were a Friday, the first day that we referred to, Mr. Grabsky insisted that he would